Hello, hey there. This is Dustin Kane with the DK and Me Show. This is the DK and Me lunch hour. And on today's segment, I'm talking about The Walking Dead Season 7. And by the way, spoilers ahead for Season 6. So if you're a fan of the show and you have not seen Season 6, then I highly suggest you turn back now. But if you have watched, then stay tuned. So last night there was a little behind the scenes special on Season 7 via the AMC and Talking Dead. And they just had some of the stars of the show come on and do an interview. One particular was Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan. As most of you know, the biggest question that's been asked ever since Season 6 ended was who is at the receiving end of Negan's precious bat, Lucille. And as far as we know, I mean, obviously we don't know. But there's other things to be considered for Season 7 other than that big question. Obviously that's going to be the biggest thing, but there's also Ezekiel and the Kingdom. How close are they going to be with that whole story as opposed to the comics? Another thing that I am questioning is Carol. What's up with Carol? What has gone wrong with her, or gone right with her? We don't know. She is not in the same mindset as we've come to know her throughout the last few seasons. That's what's on my mind. That's one of my questions. Also, how has Morgan changed since Season 6 ended with him breaking his one rule? And that one rule was all life is precious. So he was not going to kill anybody that was not a walker. And he broke that rule by saving Carol. So, and by the way, I apologize for the noise in the background because I have to be outside and do this. So please bear with me. Yeah. By the way, this is the lunch hour, so I am eating. We've been promised, as we always are promised, that this season is going to begin, obviously, with what we want to see. But I read an article with Scott Gimple saying we're going to see some new worlds, we're going to meet some new friends, new enemies. Everything's just going to be chaos. I mean, you thought Season 6 was just nutso. Season 7 is just going to be tenfold. So it's going to be interesting to see where Rick and the crew goes on from this point. Losing a member of the group, maybe a key member of the group. Obviously we don't know who that is, but like I said, it was weird to see Rick bowing down to somebody else. Rick had finally just lost it. He has no control at this point. So I'm wondering how close to Negan's depiction in the comics are they going to be on the show? And hopefully very close. Good sandwich, by the way. But a lot of theories on who might have bit the dust, so to speak, is and there's so many theories about so many different characters. Oh, this character is obviously not gonna die off. This character is obviously not gonna die off. This one maybe. And the obvious one is, if you haven't read the comics, and spoilers for the comics if you haven't read them, Glenn does in fact die in the comics via Negan and Lucille. Now, are they going to do that on the show? We don't know. That's what everybody is wondering. Is it going to be Daryl? Or is Daryl just one of those characters that's always going to be safe and is never going to die? or is it possibly Abraham? By the way, Abraham kind of like stood up to Negan by leaning towards Negan's back. Or will Negan see that as the fact that Abraham is very ballsy and that's somebody he can use? Because Negan's all about resourcing the best possible people that he can get. And, you know, for those of us that haven't read the comics, how's he going to go about taking up all the supplies in Alexandria? How is Alexandria going to fight back? We don't know. Obviously, if you've read the comics, you do know. But I am very excited to see a new element of the show to where they do introduce Ezekiel and the kingdom. And if I remember right from the comics, from a reliable source, a friend of mine here at work actually said that the people of the kingdom are ones that join Rick and the crew in helping them take down Negan. Because obviously Negan is one bad mofo. And he doesn't take crap. But then again, we don't know where Negan's journey began as opposed to Rick's. So there's that whole theory that's going around. And they are actually, by the way, a little off tangent here, but they are actually doing a story in the comics about Negan's origin story. So, you know, maybe they might incorporate that in the show somehow. I don't know, because it's too recent maybe. But I do hope that we see something. Maybe. We don't know. But I did have a few notes here. Let's take a look at my notes. Let's see. I was in Negan. We've gone over Negan. Obviously, the big question: who has met their end in the show? Writers and producers, and even Norman Reedus have said that it's somebody. It's going to be a huge impact on the show, for sure. Talking about Ezekiel and the kingdom, and now, of course, his tiger Shiva. A lot of people were wondering, are they going to include the tiger Shiva? They have indeed. How much is Shiva going to be in the show? We don't know. We'll have to find out on October 23rd when Walking Dead returns. Carol, what's happened to Carol? Has she gone off the deep end for good reasons, bad reasons? We don't know. Morgan, how's he changed after breaking his all life is precious rule? His all life is precious rule. And obviously, how close is season 7 going to be to the comics? Season 6 was pretty close, actually. So we shall see about that. Anyways, I am going to finish up my lunch here. Fortunately, I don't have a whole lot of time. I was going to do this live on Facebook, but bad internet connection. I don't know. Been experiencing that a lot lately. So, anyways, this has been Dustin Kane with the DK and Me show. With the DK and Me lunch hour, we're talking about Walking Dead season 7. If you have any comments you'd like to make, more theories you might have on what might go down in season 7 based on what you saw in the trailer, and maybe based on what you saw in the little clip that they showed last night on the Talking Dead special. So be sure to go check that out. Leave your comments and everything. Would love to discuss with you all. Anyways, this is Dustin Kane with the DK and Me show. You've been watching the DK and Me lunch hour. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Catch you later, everyone.